Hello everyone, welcome to my channel ASP.NET Core, and today I'm going to show you how to design a web API for chatting app. This is the ASP.NET Core web API tutorials, and in this video I'm going to chat app. So just the name is chat app. Okay, so the solution name and the project name are the same, chat app. And in this framework, here we have a long time support .NET 6.0 and out of support is 5.0. So just use 6.0. Authentication type is none. And here you can use controller uncheck to use minimal API. So select it. And so first of all, just I'm going to add a models folder inside it here. So add a new models. And inside the model folder, here we have a application user class. So add a new class that is name is application user. And actually application user class is inherited with the identity user class. And this is the type of integer. Actually identity user class is existing in the identity package. So just add a new NuGet package. And the name is identity. Okay, and here you can say that identity package is Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.identity.entity framework core. So here we have the package name Microsoft ASP.NET Core.identity.entity framework core, and the latest stable you have to choose that is installed. Just yes, I accept it. Okay, so just go for the application user class, and here we have the identity user class is inherited with the integer package, and just save use Microsoft ASP.NET Core identity. And here you can see that here we have lots of options to add some properties in the application user class, and these properties. So here we have some properties like name of the application user. I mean to say that if both of the user like sender and the receiver want to talk to each other, so there we have an M, and the city, country, bio, gender, interest, and the birth date, and the public property that is the looking for is the property name, and the next one is the created and the last active. So here we have some properties in the chat app for the application user class. Okay, so a application user have both are the sender and the receiver. Know that. So here we have the public date time equals to last active and equals to date time dot now. Now after that you can say that this is the last active, and here we have a application user also a sender likes, and a user also receives some likes. So both application user, both sender and the receiver also. So here we have two things, application user likes and application user likes. So there this is the middle table you can say between the both sender and the receiver. Okay, so just implement after that. And application user also send messages and receive messages. So similarly we have the middle table between both. And application user have some photos, so for the photo table is there. And also here we have a application user have multiple roles, so application user roles is also there. So in between table here we have another table that is application role. So application, here we have a chat application. So in this model just create a application role table first of all. So create a new class and the name is application role. And in this table actually role inherit this table from the identity role table. So that class is implemented by identity role, and also we have integer type. The id property is integer type, so just create it. Microsoft ASP.NET Core.identity. And you know that a application role have multiple application user roles. So prop I collection, and here we have to set application user role, and similarly we have the application user and the application role have multiple application user roles. So here you can say that application user roles. So just create a application user role. There is the in between table between the application role and application user. So here we have two table, application role and application user, and application user have multiple application user roles. So in this table you can say that application user roles. So this is the middle table between the application role and application user. So just create a new class, application user role, application user role, and you can say that application user role is actually inherited from, so application class application user role and inherited with the identity user role. So here we have identity, oops, user role, and this is the type of integer, and you can say that so here we have a application role. A role have multiple user, and you can say that a user have multiple roles. So in between table we have, you can say that a many to many relationship between the application role and application user. So a application user have application user roles, and application role have application user application role application user role. So in this table here we have two properties, both are application user, application user, application user, and here we have prop application. This one is the application user and this one is the application role. So here we have, so in here we have two table, application role, application user, and application user role in between table. Okay, so everything is fine. Now just you can say that the problem is resolved. Now after that you can say the next table is, that is application user like. So just create a new class, application user likes, and in the application user like here we have single ID property of the application user like, so integer ID, and here we have two properties. The first one property is the application user is related to the sender ID, and the next one is the receiver ID. So you can say this table is the middle table, so there is no need to create an ID property of itself. So here we have application user like between the application user of the sender, application user of the receiver. So application user with the sender and their sender ID, and receiver we have the receiver ID, but both are the application user. So self-referencing you can say. So just delete this table and resolve the problem, application user like, receiver and the sender. The next one is the message. So just create it and a new class, message class, and in the message class also here we have a sender ID and the sender messages and receiver messages. Instead of sender ID and the receiver ID, here we have lots of data there is not related to actually other part, it's related to the application user also. So there is the you can say the content of the messages between pass between the both user sender and the receiver. So content is the property, and another one, if one user is delete the message, there is an you can say that sender is delete and the receiver also is delete. You can say set both these are the properties also. So you can say that these are the properties: ID, content of the message, sender username, sender receiver username, reading date, and sending date, that is the datetime.utc now, is sender delete or is receiver delete, sender sender id, receiver id. Okay, so these are the content, or you can say that attribute of the message class. And the next table is related to the application user, that is photo. So you have to add a new class, that name is photo, and inside it you can take this properties like a photo id, photo url, is the primary photo or not, and the main id, you can say that public id of the photo, application user id and application user. So you can set the table name of the photos. So here you can say that the table name is photos. Okay, so after this, so resolve the namespace problem, system component dot data notation dot schema, and then finally you have to create a data context under the data tab, or you can say the data directory. So first of all, add a new folder, the name is data, and in the data section you have to add a application db context class, and here we have add a new class. The name of the class is application db context, application db context. Now so here we have a public class application db context, and this is class with inherit with the identity db context. And you know that identity db context is actually exist in Microsoft ASP.NET Core.identity.entity framework core, and in which you can pass these parameter like this is overloaded in the three times. The first one is the t user. I mean to say that application user, you can say. So here we have application user, and resolve this problem first of all. Okay, now after that you can add an application user. You have the second parameter is a t role. So here we have a application role class, and with the t key. Okay, so here we have application role, and t key is a type of integer, and the next parameter you have to say that is t user claim. And what is the user claim right here? So what is the next parameter is t user claim. So identity user claim, in which you can provide identity user claims. So here we have install package Microsoft ASP.NET .identity.entity framework core. So here you can say that identity user claim of the type integer. Okay, and so resolve the problem first. Install package ASP.NET .identity.entity framework core. It's not actually there. You can say that identity user claim is user Microsoft ASP.NET Core identity, and the next one problem is okay. So after that you have to add the next parameter, that is a t user role. So identity user role, or you can say that application user role is actually there. So application user role of the type integer, you can say, and the next one is t user login, identity user login, you can say at write it here. So application user role is also created in my models class. Here you can say that application user role. So there is no need to casting. And the next one class is t user login. So identity user login, and in which you can add integer type. The next one is the t role claim. So identity role, identity role claims, identity role claim, the type of integer. Oops, identity role claim is not there. Then finally you can add The next one is that is user token. So identity user token of the type integer. Okay, so here you can say that that is the last moment identity application. The first one is the application user, the second one is application role, and with the key, the third one is identity user claim, the next one is application role, identity user login, identity role claim, and the identity user token, and then finally clause. So identity role claim is not there. Oops, claim spell is missing. So everything is fine. Now, so application user, application role, and application user role is finished at right here in the application DB context. Now after that you have to add these parameters in the application DB context. First one is application DB context constructor, and here you can add a DB context options with the application DB context class, and by resolving the problem Microsoft Entity Framework Core. So here we have that initialize the connection string in here by using the program.cs file. So your constructor is clear. Now add application user like and the messages in the application DB context to communicate with the table. Now the next one is the own model creating. The own model creating, you can say that the first one parameter is the entity class, that is application user class, and you know that a application user has many user roles. Oh, okay, with one application user in the user role class, and has a foreign key, that is user ID is required. Okay, and that is user ID is actually exist in the application user class, and because application user class sorry application user role have inherited with the application user role, identity user role. So in the identity user role have a user ID. So just go for the application user role, and here you can say that identity user role is actually have a user ID property. So just check. So here we have a user ID and the role ID. So in the application DB context class, here we have a user ID, and the next one is application role. So has many application user role with the one application role as has a foreign key, that is role ID is required. The next one is the application user likes and has a key, that sender ID, and the receiver ID is the foreign key in the table. And builder.entity application user like has one sender with many sender likes, has foreign key sender ID on delete behavior, that is client set null. Similarly with the application user like for the receiver, has one receiver with many receiver likes, has foreign key, that is receiver ID, and that on delete behavior, that is client set null. The next one is the message. The same in the message we have in like the application user like. So the delete behavior is restrict in that case. So after that just delete it. Okay, so everything is fine. Now your application DB context is ready. The next topic is to add some packages in the file, that is edit project file, and here we have a item group. Inside we have two packages, that is shawsparkle.asp.NET Core and Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.identity.entity framework core. So after that replace this item group with this one item group. Is there is item group, and here you can say that the first package is automapper.extension.microsoft.dependency injection. Uh, that is version is 11.0 latest stable. Cloudinary.net, that is used for your upload images package. That package is used to image upload. And the next one is Microsoft ASP.NET Core.authentication.jwt bearer, and that package is used to generate tokens. Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.Identity.Entity Framework Core, and that package is used to use identity, that is user claims, user roles, users, and etc. And Microsoft Entity Framework Core.SQL Server to store the data into the SQL Server. Microsoft Entity Framework Core.Tools, and that package is used to use for your package manager console. And that package references is Microsoft Identity Model.Documents and Swashbuckle.ASP.NET Core. So here we have these packages, and just I want to just I want to update these all packages. So just go for the Solution Explorer and right click on it and go for the Package Manager console. And here you can say that these are installed package if you have, and these are the installed packages: Microsoft Entity Framework Core.Tools, JWT Bearer, Automapper. And if you want to get updates, just see the updates. Yes, all these are have some updates, so just select all packages and just go for updates. Okay, and just go for accept it. Yeah, everything is fine. And here you can say that some warning messages, but your package will be have some updated. Okay, so now, okay, so the next step is to going for application DB app settings.json file, and here you can add the connection string, and the connection string is connection string chat connection, and the SQL server is my database is chat app DB trusted connection true, multiple active result sets true. So the name is chat connection. Now after this, save this app settings.json file. Now use SQL Server in your, so just create a new folder for extensions. So here you can add, that is extensions. The folder name is extensions. In the extensions folder, you have to add identity related extensions and the services related extensions and many more. So I will cover the extension in the later videos. So just go for your channel button, that is subscribe my channel, and also join the channel, and you get more benefits about ASP.NET Core if you join the channel. Thank you very much for watching this video.